you miss the opportunity to learn the lessons that life came to teach you. Because when life called the roll for school, you were not present. You were not present. You were either in yesterday or groping after tomorrow, and you were not present. In me today, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice. Stuck in the middle. It's okay. That's why you're with me today. Why do we work so hard not to be vulnerable? If you can't be vulnerable, you can't grow. The beauty of in between. Let me talk to you. Oh, when he says, I count not myself to have apprehended, indulges in a moment of vulnerability that says to people who admire him, I'm not there yet. I don't remember hearing any bishops preach on this part of the text, or any pastors or any teachers get up and say, you know, congregation, I really know the word, but I'm jacked up as a person. I speak Greek and Hebrew, and I graduated from XXX university, but I'm completely dysfunctional as a husband or as a father. I'll make a great preacher, but I can't do business, and the church's business is going to be wrecked. But I will shout you into a fit. They don't say stuff like that. And then the Apostle Paul says, I count not myself to have apprehended. What brings this moment of vulnerability is a brief discussion of death that precedes it. Because the closer you get to death, the more honest you become. Getting close to death makes you real. It makes you face up to some things and deal with some things and confront some things that normally you wouldn't confront with, because frankly, you are running out of time. And when you are running out of time, you don't have time for surprises. So you just tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? So as he contemplates the resurrection of the dead, he then engages in a moment of vulnerability and says, I count not myself to have apprehended. Why? Are we so afraid to be vulnerable? Why do we work so hard to not be vulnerable? Maybe it is the past we came from and the pain it created that teaches us to be masters of disguise. Could it be possible that we think in the annals of our mind that if you knew who I really was, you wouldn't love me? And so out of fear of rejection, I give you somebody I think you would like and hide who I really am, because I'm afraid if you saw me as I am, you wouldn't like me, because I count not myself to have apprehended. I teach it, I preach it, but I have not attained it. Do you know what pressure it is to teach something that you haven't mastered? To help other people with their problems and then go home and try to figure out what in the world are we going to do? To teach 10 points to a strong marriage and argue all the way home with your wife.
All right, tell it.
Raising children in the admonition and the fear of the Lord is going to be my sermon this morning, and your son just wrecked your car in a drunken stupor. Because you cannot control life. And some of us are exhausted from trying to control life. We would rather spend our energy controlling our image than to be vulnerable for a moment and say, I count not myself to have apprehended, and run the risk of your rejection or retaliation or your vicious, cruel cycles of gossip. Look at the energy we spend hiding our vulnerabilities to protect ourselves from people that many times don't even matter. And Paul, of all people, my theological hero, says, I know you're studying me, Jakes, but listen, boy, I count not myself to have apprehended. And I wonder, how in the world did we leap over that and start talking about forgetting those things which are behind and reaching to those things which are before, and overlook this moment of vulnerability when the apostle, the cripple of Tarsus, stumbles up to us and admits, I don't have it all together. But can you love me anyway? And can I lead you anyway? And can I teach you anyway? And can I add value to your life? Can I hold my wound while I stitch your scars? I count not myself to have apprehended is an indulgence in vulnerability. And I think the reason that we are so afraid to be vulnerable is that the past teaches us to camouflage. It teaches us to cover up, because the last time I tried to be real, I got hurt. And the last time I tried to be myself, I got fired. And the last time I opened up to somebody, they betrayed me. And the last time I confided in her, she went out and told my business. And so we become masters at shutting out the pain and the hurt and the sorrow and the disappointment. And the only problem with that is that when you become numb to the pain and the sorrow and the disappointment, you also become numb to the joy and the peace and the life and the love and the vitality and the excitement, and you start living your life like the walking dead. Going through the motions, and you can't remember what day it is. Is it Thursday or Tuesday? I'm not sure. Because all of my days look the same when I'm numb. All of my days are the same when I'm numb. Because when I'm numb, I lose all sense of time. And yes, I lose all sense of pain, but I lose all sense of joy too. And this tasteless life of mine is filled with indulgences to cover up its emptiness. Because what I built to protect myself and insulate myself has now incarcerated myself. And I am missing the pain, but I am missing the joy. I'm missing the confusion, but I'm missing the love. Because when today called the roll, I was not present. Nah, I'm not going to be present. I'd rather be spiritual and not be present. I'd rather put all of my energies into forgetting the things which are behind me, dealing with yesterday. Or let me get over here and shout about tomorrow. Tomorrow about this time, hallelujah, before the clock strikes 12, and at midnight, and someday, and afterwards. See, we got faith for the past, and we got faith for the future. But what do you have for the now? Are we always just going to be forgetting and reaching, forgetting and reaching, forgetting and reaching, forgetting and reaching, and looking over today? Because we don't want to talk about today, because today I count not myself to have apprehended. So let's talk about tomorrow, because I'm going to get it tomorrow. I'm going to have it tomorrow. I'm going to have it by the end of the year. This is my year. By the end of the year, what month is it? I got 6 months left. By the end of the year, I'm going to have it. But you can't embrace the now without embracing the vulnerability of I count not myself to have apprehended. I'm not finished now.